almost too easy.
Yeah! You're not leaving yet. Objective! You're mine, Dragon Fist!
Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another edition of The Art Of, a series of videos where I go through my thoughts and opinions on what makes certain topics of entertainment good, all while pulling from a pool of media like video games or anime or other types of entertainment. This episode, judging by the title of this video and also judging by the thumbnail, in this video I'm going to be going on about what makes good storytelling. Now again, these are all my facts and opinions. If your facts... Judging by the title of this video, and also judging by the thumbnail, in this video, I'm going to be going on about what makes good storytelling. Now again, these are all my opinions. We may have different opinions. If we do have different opinions, that's fine. Leave a comment down below. It's good for the YouTube algorithm. If our opinions differ, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to watch the other videos in this series to understand what's happening in this episode, as they're not all directly connected to each other, but I would love it if you would go and check it out. And if you're new here and this is your first video, why not stop by and subscribe? If you're not subscribed already, why? Subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon for future updates. This video is going to have some heavy spoilers for the entire game of Ghost of Tsushima. A game that has captured my heart with not only its music, its graphic design, but you guessed it, its storytelling. For those who don't know, Ghost of Tsushima is a game that was released in PS4 in mid-July of the hell year known as 2020. Developed by Northern American game studio known as Sucker Punch Productions, founded in 1997 by these guys right here. Wow! Cheap plug, but my friend Vinny and I played this on our collab channel, Scramble the Wires, link in description below. But as of recording this video, the series is on a bit of a hiatus. You should still check out our channel though, we got uploads every Wednesday and Saturday. So anyways, cheap plug aside, grab some popcorn, strap in, I'm gonna teach you guys about some storytelling.
I deserve no mercy. No mercy!
That's right, baby! We're talking about my boy, Aristotle. Sometime in his life, Aristotle used his brain to conjure up the idea of the three-act structure. The three-act structure is as simple as it sounds. A whole story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. In the beginning of the story, the foundation is set up, all the characters are established, the main thread is also established as well, usually used for building up confrontations later on in the story, followed by a plot point that segues the viewer to the second act of the story. The middle, where the majority of the story takes place, is usually used for major confrontation, as well as other plot points that push us to its final act. The part of the story where all the resolution happens, the story comes to an end, the story's protagonist resolves all their problems that they face in the beginning and the middle of the story. The first act mostly deals with exposition and a rising action. The second act deals with even more rising action, a climax, as well as falling action. And Act 3, the final act, deals with any type of unresolved falling action as well as the conclusion. If you look close enough in any type of entertainment, the number 3 always makes some sort of an appearance in some way, shape, or form. In Ghost of Tsushima, the way that the number 3 is represented into types of acts. Act 1 of Ghost of Tsushima takes place in the lower section of the island, known as Izuhara. Act 2 takes place in the middle, known as Toyotama, while Act 3 takes place in the wintry north, known as Kamiagata. Usually when trying to tell a story, and as a way to show major change in mood, the creator usually drastically changes the scenery for the final scene. In the third act of Ghost of Tsushima, the game's major scenery from a lush and vibrant nature that surrounds you in the first 2 acts gets flipped entirely on its head, shoving you into a cold, harsh, snow-filled wasteland. Not only do I think Ghost of Tsushima is a great example of the 3-act structure and how it's supposed to be laid out, it's also a good example of certain types of storytelling. Generally speaking, there are 7 different types of categories that a story can fall into. Those being overcoming a monster, rags to riches, the quest, a voyage and a return, a comedy, the tragedy, or a rebirth. A story isn't delegated to just be one of these topics. A story can fall under multiple or even all of these topics. After looking into all these 7 different types of categories that a story can fall under, I came to the conclusion that Ghost of Tsushima falls under 3 of the 7 of these categories, those being overcoming a monster, a quest, and rebirth.
You were brave to protect your brother. Sometimes our only choice is to walk away from everything we know.
Overcoming a monster is established at the very beginning of the game in the prologue when the main character, Jin, encounters Kotan-Khan
We do what we must, Lord Sakai.
during the Mongol invasion of the beaches of Komoda. The quest plot is pretty clear too. The Mongols and the Khan have taken over the island of Tsushima while kidnapping Lord Shimura in the process. Jin has to overcome the Khan army while retaking the land of Tsushima and rescue his uncle, all while defeating the Khan in the process. Now for the last type of story plot, Rebirth. Rebirth is steadily seen throughout the entire course of the game. When it comes to Rebirth plots, they don't always have to end off with the character becoming a better person in the end. But in the case of Jin, the Rebirth plot is him starting off, staying strict to the code of the samurai, and constantly going against it throughout the entire course of the game, to do what he thinks is needed in order to defeat the Mongols that are infecting the island. Throughout the main game, at certain times of the story, flashbacks can be seen of a young Jin and his uncle. In these flashbacks, Lord Shimura is training Jin how to become a proper samurai, constantly telling Jin never to go against the code of the samurai. Within Acts 1 and 2, the viewer sees Jin's actions, and clearly sees that he's straying away from the path of the samurai, attacking foes from behind, using non-samurai weapons like the hwacha or even deadly toxins or hallucinogenic blow darts. During the first act, when Jin is planning to rescue his uncle, Jin starts going against the way of the samurai. The Khan gets word about what's going on the battlefield and tells the news to Lord Shimura. Shimura refuses to believe what the Khan is saying, claiming that Jin would never go against the way of the samurai. And later on in Act 2, Shimura sees it for himself when he and Jin are trying to clear the way for a ship, with a message to the shogun. When Jin uses the Mongol hwacha, Shimura strongly disagrees about what Jin is doing, claiming that it's not the way of the samurai. This little interaction between the two starts a mini feud / storyline between Lord Shimura disagreeing with Jin and his actions because they're not samurai, and Jin thinking that he is doing the right thing. This feud escalates to its climax when, at the end of Act 2, Jin poisons the entire Mongol camp, killing what little honor he has left. Lord Shimura, outraged by this, confronts Jin. Even though he's outraged at Jin for what he's done, he still wants to fight together as father and son, which Jin replies,
I am not your son. I am the ghost.
finally cementing his decision and embracing his character rebirth as the Ghost. As the game enters its third and final act, Jin has been exiled to the northern land of Kamiagata, where Jin's goal is simple: kill the Khan. After Jin escapes a holding cell that he was locked up in thanks to the help of Kenji, a sly merchant that Jin befriended earlier in the adventure, Jin takes back his horse. But while trying to make his escape, his horse gets shot in the leg, ultimately leading it to die out in the frozen wasteland. After getting your gear back from Yuna, who stole it from Lord Shimura's soldiers, you team up with her to try and track down information about the whereabouts of the Khan. Now, on a bit of a side note, one thing that I actually disliked about this story's game is that after killing off this horse companion that you've had for pretty much the entirety of the game, they just turn around and give you a brand new one that's just, here you go, here's a new horse. It's very, it feels kind of rushed in my opinion. From a gameplay standpoint, I could see why having a fast-moving companion in an open-world game is almost necessary, but from a storytelling-wise perspective, I don't really understand it. That's about it. Anyway, back to the Ghost of Tsushima. After teaming up with Yuna's brother Takeshi and taking over Fort Kami no Dake, Jin learns about the whereabouts of the Khan, hiding out in Port Izumi. After Yuna and Jin go sneak into Port Izumi's lighthouse and scout out the place, the two head back to Jogaku Temple where Jin and Co are residing at. It's at this time that Jin plans to deliver a letter to his uncle asking him to join forces once again to fight Kotan-Khan, even if it isn't as family but as warriors. After that, it's time for the battle at Port Izumi. Characters and friends that you've met along the way all help you lead the attack on the port where the Khan is hiding. After battling through endless hordes of enemies, it seems that Lord Shimura will not aid Jin until...
Tsushima!
No mercy!
Lord Shimura and his army show up to aid Jin under the common goal of saving Tsushima. After even more countless hordes of enemies, Jin finally confronts the Khan and the fight ensues. And when Jin seems to have the battle won, the Khan blinds Jin with poison and heads up to the ship to make his escape. Jin chases down the Khan after killing the men on the ship. Among the fires of a broken and war-ridden battleship, Jin and the Khan face off for one final time, ending with Jin killing the Khan. But before finishing off the Khan says that if you kill him, more will come, and no matter what, he will be remembered. Some time has passed after the Battle of the Khan, and Yuna and Jin are riding Tsushima on horseback. Yuna then tells Jin that Shimura wants to see him again over at Omi Lake. After arriving at Omi Lake, Lord Shimura drops the news that the shogun has disbanded Clan Sakai, and that Jin is no longer a samurai. Along with that, the shogun has sent a new wave of samurai to occupy the Sakai estate, but the worst news is yet to come. After heading to the Sakai family cemetery, Lord Shimura tells Jin he's been ordered by the Shogun himself to kill Jin and end the ghost. Lord Shimura and Jin face off in one final battle. Once Jin gets the upper hand, Shimura asks Jin to honor him and give him a real warrior's death. The player can either spare Lord Shimura or kill Lord Shimura. With this choice brings an end to the tale of the Ghost of Tsushima. I have a smaller series, sort of like this exact same thing, but with, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it at all. I'm just gonna drop a video. It's gonna be a little, hopefully, they're gonna be shorter videos, shorter than these ones. I hope so. But the Art of series are supposed to be like a bit longer videos, while the new series is gonna be shorter, more condensed videos. Again, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for enduring. But I can't speak. Thanks for enduring this long wait for this video, as well as the possible longevity of this video. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for making it to the end and suffering from my semi-sick and hoarse voice. It's very fun recording early in the morning, isn't it? Right when you wake up. Very fun. Anyways, I hope I delivered for this. I have lots of different topics in the future that I want to talk about with this series, so I hope you tune in. Hope you tune in and check them out when they arrive. Remember to hit that bell icon. You should totally hit that bell icon. Totally do it. You should totally do it. I don't know how to end off these videos, so I guess this, goodbye. See you later. Goodbye.